Welcome to Golf Smarter Mulligans, your second chance to gain insight and advice from the best instructors featured on the Golf Smarter podcast. Great golf instruction never gets old. Our interview library features hundreds of hours of game improvement conversations like this that are no longer available in any podcast app.
Yeah, 64.
He was 64 years old and drove the ball 515 yards.
Yep.
I'm glad you said that he had some witnesses because, personally, I've driven the ball 600 yards, but nobody was there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it. Took it 600 yards. I hit the ball all the way to the second hole.
Yep. Yeah, fortunately, there were people there to witness it, and Guinness is pretty strict about verification of their records, so they did whatever they needed to do to verify it, and sure enough. Really amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really amazing.
With another interview from the archives of Golf Smarter, here's your host, Fred Green.
Welcome to Golf Smarter for members only, Jaacob.
Thanks.
And we'll try that again.
Sorry.
I know I caught you by surprise when I said we're recording, but here we go. Welcome back to Golf Smarter, Jaacob.
Oh, thanks. It's good to be back on the show.
Thank you very much. Speaking on Skype, over to you in Zurich, Switzerland. I love the fact that I said, oh, you're in Zurich, and I expect you to have some very thick accent, even if it's Scottish or something, and it's like you're from St. Louis.
Yeah.
How's your game?
Normal.
How's your game?
Game is good. As good as it can be, I guess. I'm not playing a whole lot right now, though. I'm working more on some instructional products and working on the business side of things, I guess.
Isn't that amazing? I can't tell you how many golf professionals I speak with that say, play golf? Are you kidding? Who has time to play golf? I'm trying to run a business here.
Yeah, what is that saying? If you want to play golf, don't work in the golf industry.
Absolutely. I've had kids when I was in sports marketing and working with baseball teams and stuff. I had kids come to me all the time going, "Oh, I love baseball. I want a job." And it's like, no, you don't. No. If you love the business of baseball, yeah, go get a job. If you love baseball, sit in the stands. Right. Same thing with golf, man. It's like don't invent a new tee just so that you can quit your insurance job because you won't be able to play golf anymore.
Exactly.
Are you doing instruction there as well?
Yeah, I do I do all kinds of things related to golf now. I play tournaments, compete in events. I give exhibitions and clinics. I travel for individual and corporate outings. I teach individual and group lessons here and there. I have my internet business. I write books, film videos, anything and everything related to golf, basically.
And when you get invited to do these corporate outings, it's like, we're going to hire Jaacob Bowden because we want to have him hit the ball really far for us. You're a long drive guy, right? You love the long drive thing.
I got into long drive by accident, I guess. Really? Me personally, I prefer the regular golf side of things. That speaks to me more than long drive. But I did compete in long drive, more I guess for fun. And I'm sorry, what was the question? Why?
I have no idea. No, I mean when someone's hiring you for a corporate outing, a golf outing, what's the attraction to you? Why are they hiring you? What do you bring to the game there?
I think
you don't know. This is really interesting. I wish I could have a job of jobs like hire me for a corporate outing. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, but this is good.
It really depends on the group and or individual or whatever. There's a number of things. I think some people are kind of fascinated. I'm 36 now, and when I was 27, I was a 14 handicap. So just going from an average regular Joe golfer to being a professional and a long drive competitor, a lot of people are just interested in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes people want to know about that. Other times it's for just distance. People like watching other people hit the ball far. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't a long hitter to start with, so it was something that I learned and trained how to do. So people are interested in that. One of my more unique niches now is swing speed training. Golf fitness has certainly become more popular in the last 15 years or so, but you can be fit and not fast. And conversely, you can be a little bit out of shape and absolutely just rip the ball. So I've put together some training programs for people to increase their swing speed. And I've got an instructional website for that. So sometimes this past weekend, I did a swing speed training clinic, an exhibition for about 80 people at a golf course. So sometimes it's that. And then also, I was fortunate enough to meet Mike Austin before he died. And Mike Austin, for those people who don't know, he hit the Guinness record 515-yard drive in 1974 in the U.S. National Senior Open.
Oh, it wasn't in Zurich, Switzerland on the ice?
No. No, it was just a regular old golf course in Las Vegas. And he did it with the old persimmon wood steel shafted driver, Balata ball.
How much roll did he get on that? I mean, what was the carry on a 515-yard drive?
If I remember correctly, it was a 450-yard hole. I don't recall.
Wait. He overdrove the hole?
Yeah, he hit the ball. He hit the ball.
He overdrove a 500-yard hole?
It landed short of the green.
Downhill. Got to be downhill, right?
It's flat, actually. It's Desert Rose in Las Vegas. You can still play it. I actually played it last fall.
And when you stepped up to the tee when you played it, it's like, no. How can a guy in competition drive this hole with a persimmon driver?
Yeah, there is an element to that. You sit there and look at it, and I remember thinking just that, sitting on the tee box and looking like, holy cow, like the green is way over there, and he hit it over the green. And he ended up bogeying the hole, but I mean, still to hit a drive that, it was just amazing. And apparently, he played with this guy, I think Chandler Harper, if I remember correctly. He won the PGA Champ. So he played with some good players and had some witnesses for it, and they said that he was hitting multiple drives over 400 that day. So I guess it wasn't crazy that he hit 515 because he had multiple drives over 400 that day. So which is really still amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the guy was probably. You said that he died when we were speaking earlier. He died in what, 2005?
Yeah, I'd have to check exactly. But
and
it was
he was in his mid-90s at the time.
Yeah.
And so if he hit this in 1974, that means he was in his 60s.
Yeah, 64.
He was 64 years old and drove the ball 515 yards.
Yep. Amazing, isn't it?
I'm glad you said that he had some witnesses because, personally, I've driven the ball 600 yards, but nobody was there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it. Took it 600 yards. I hit the ball all the way to the second hole.
Yeah. Fortunately, there were people there to witness it, and the Guinness is pretty strict about their verification of their records. So they did whatever they needed to do to verify it, and sure enough.
Wow.
Really amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really amazing. And so you had the opportunity to work with him, study him. You're just fascinated. You're obsessed. What's the deal with? And why did you? Why are you? Isn't that your you were telling me your latest product is a Mike Austin type video?
Yeah, I just came out with it's called the Mike Austin Swing with Jaacob Bowden. So it's a Mike Austin swing instructional video. It's a downloadable video. I first met him in 2003, a couple years before he died. It was right when I was 27. I moved from the Midwest out to California to pursue a golf career, and I met Dan Schauger out there, and he was a friend of Mike's, and Dan took me under his wing and taught me the basis for the Austin swing, and he was the one that also introduced me to Mike. So I got to go over to Mike's house a number of times, and Mike came out to the range with us. I think, he came out to the range with us once. And yeah, so I was fortunate enough to be one of the ones that got a chance to meet with them and learn from them, and and I think 6 months after I started working with Dan and had those meetings with Mike, I added 63 yards to my longest drive. And I won
wait, over a period of time or that day?
No, not in one day.
Yeah, I added 60 yards that day.
It took a month.
A month to add 60 yards?
Which is still amazing.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm not kidding.
How sure?
Yeah, 63 yards in a month. And within 6 months, that was when I won the 2003 Pinnacle Distance Challenge. It hit a 381-yard drive on TV in front of a nice crowd. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, very cool. What you started to say would probably be incredibly interesting to most of the audience, and that is that you started out as a 14 handicap. And I know to many Golf Smarter and recreational golfers that getting to a 14 handicap is a beautiful thing. It's like, okay, I'm comfortable with this game here. This is great. But then you took it over not a tremendous amount of time, but you got to scratch, right?
Yes, I did, and eventually turned pro, and now I got some tournament rounds and some cuts made, tournament rounds in 60s and 70s. So I've gotten to play in tournaments in the U.S., Europe, Asia, Africa. This past winter, I went to Australia. So it's really been an incredible journey.
Tell me about the journey from 14 to scratch. How long did that take you, and what do you think, if you can tease this apart and isolate something that made you that much better of a golfer, besides practicing 8 hours a day, right? I mean, it's every single day. Is there something that did that for you?
Part of it certainly was the extra practice. I was a computer engineer before I started my little journey, and I quit and lived off my savings for a little bit with the intention of seeing how good I could get. And when I first started, my best score was a 78 at the Walker course at Clemson University, 6 over. So I'd only broken 80 on a regular 18-hole golf course once, and then within a month of I guess 2 months from when I started, I shot my first round under par, 1 under on 18-hole course.
Wow.
So some of it, yes, was definitely just getting an opportunity to practice more and get some repetitions in. But then also, I think that my work with Dan Schauger and getting to learn that Mike Austin swing was a tremendous help for me. I started striking the ball a lot better, a lot more consistently. I picked up, I picked up everything. I picked up distance, accuracy, consistency. So, it was just really amazing.
Yeah, and so the Mike Austin method that you were introduced to is more than just long distance, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, it's accurate distance.
That's the amazing part, because a lot of people can hit the ball far, but it's not necessarily going to be straight.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So I guess.
Is there can you summarize that in the next 12 minutes? I mean, I'm not going to give you a sense. I'll give you 12 minutes here, but how do you consistently combine distance and accuracy. Where did you find the secret?
The way accuracy wise, I think the thing that contributed the most was now Mike taught a couple of different types of hand actions, but the one that I learned from Dan and that Mike was also advocating for me was one that where you don't rotate the club face down through the hitting area as much. You keep it more square to your swing path. So there's less timing involved with getting the club face square at the moment of impact. So that was, I think, the real big kicker for accuracy.
I don't understand what you mean by less timing involved.
I guess most popularly now, the golf instructors will have you open the blade, open the club face a little bit on the way back, and then swing all the way to the top, and then come back down, and then roll the hands through back to square, and then roll them over through impact.
Right.
And when you use that kind of hand action, the club face is only square to your swing path for just a split second. So it takes a good amount of timing to do that, and it's certainly easier if you're practicing and hitting a lot of balls every day. But I got a lot farther with keeping the club face more square to the swing path, especially down through the hitting area. That really helped my accuracy a lot.
And why have not more instructors adopted that method? I mean, if it works so well for this, was Mike Austin a PGA certified instructor, or was just a great player?
I believe he was. Okay. Yes, I think I'd have to look for sure, but I think he was Southern California PGA Instructor of the Year one year, something like that. But he was a little bit brash, I guess, with some people. So he wasn't always tactful with the way he would say things. So I think he probably just rubbed some people the wrong way. And
well, I just finished reading the Steve Jobs book, and he wasn't the most sensitive human being either, but he had tremendous amount of success and followers and devotees. I'm just wondering, even though this guy could be brash and rude and cocky perhaps, his method was working, and you would think that would be enough to get more than just some guy in Zurich following him.
Right. Well, I think it's a growing
legion
thing to do with the swing. Yeah, there's more and more people that are doing it. But also, I guess with golf, when there's a collective golf conscious that you're going up against, and some people are kind of stubborn that, well, this is the way it is, and so they're kind of closed-minded to new or different things. I really don't know why it hasn't taken off. I guess perhaps it will in the near future here. It certainly helped me, and a lot of the people that I've worked with have. It's really helped them also. There's a buddy of mine that's playing on the Sunshine Tour in South Africa now, and he just switched over to that, and he's playing really great now. He's hitting a lot straighter, a lot easier. I think we'll see some growth, I guess, with the number of people using that kind of hand action, I guess.
Sure. But, so obviously not everyone's going to be able to drive the ball like Mike Austin did, and they may be able to increase their distance somewhat, but distance is not what gets you close to the pin, right? And I've said it multiple times. I just love when Terry Kaler of Score Golf said this, and we even used it as the title of the show, is give me 10 feet closer over 10 yards farther any day of the week.
Yeah.
Right? So true. Yeah. Just such a great line. But What does he advocate? Does Mike and does Jaacob advocate the same keeping the club face square even on your shorter game as well?
Yes. So there's minimal club face rotation, I guess. There's still a little bit, but it's dramatically reduced. And it's the same hand action with chipping or pitching or the full swing. So,
right. And is that the focus of your instruction now? Is that club face rotation? The lack of club face rotation?
Well, I guess I teach whatever people want me to teach them, I guess. There's
teach me how to tie my shoe, please.
There's a lot of different swing styles at the professional level that produce great results, and some things make better sense to other people than other things, and some people do swing certain ways more naturally than other ways. So I guess especially when I work with individuals, I really personalize my golf instruction to whatever the goals of that specific person are, whether whatever they are, and how much they're willing to practice, how much they're willing to change, all those different things.
Sure.
I guess.
And are there people that you're like, when you start working with them, you realize, I'm not even going to go that direction with the club face, squaring that off. It just doesn't work for some people, and it's not worth that focus, and you go elsewhere with it? Or do you always try to incorporate that?
It really just depends on the person. So I mean, it really just depends on the person. I might try and keep it if they're struggling with some accuracy, and I can see that they're really doing an exaggerated club face roll. And I'll say, oh well, why not try not to roll it as much. Try and keep the club face a little bit straighter down through the hitting area there, and just to kind of keep it simple. So it just depends on the person.
If people wanted to find out more and see it in action, I'm sure that you have a number of YouTube videos as well to talk about that, because I'm really curious to watch and see where it is that, in my swing, where that turn is and at what point it's square, if at all, and then the rotation through it. I'm not necessarily saying that I can go ahead and watch a YouTube video and figure out how to do this on my own. But tell me about your latest product and where I can see more of that.
Well, with the Mike Austin instructional video in particular, that's on my swingmangolf.com website. It's just a downloadable video. So it's that aspect of how to use your hands and forearms and club face, I guess. It's definitely contained in that. I also talk about it on the inside member portion of the Swingman Golf website. I'm trying to think if I have anything on the YouTube channel. There may be one video where I talk about it, but I definitely do have something on the Swingman side and the members on the member area, and then in this Mike Austin instructional video.
Tell me about your member area and how we can get there, and can the Golf Smarter listeners get any sort of gimmies on helping out to get through your site?
Sure, yeah.
Good. I'm glad you said yes.
The primary niche, I guess, and focus of the member aspect of the site is more focusing on swing speed training.
Okay.
So there's it's quite easy actually to pick up 10 to 15 miles an hour on your driver swing speed in a month. And I've got the basic program that I have in there takes about 15 minutes, and you need to do it twice a week. It's not something you need to go to the golf course for if you got room to swing your club.
Really?
Then that's all. Whenever I do my training, I just go out to the backyard and do it out there. So that was one of the cool things about that, because then people work and people have their families, so there's not always time to go to the range and stuff. So so that's one of the big niches, I guess, about the member side of the member part of the site is swing speed training.
Sure.
The programs and the just swing speed training 101. I go into anything and everything about training to increase your swing speed.
Awesome. Because a lot of people, that is really important to them, is seeing how they can do that, but with control. I mean, increasing.
Yes.
And again, yes. I would say not only with control, but with less tension. And isn't that a key element of increasing swing speed, is not swinging harder, but having less tension?
Well, there's a maximum swing speed that each of us has as a person at any given point. And then there's a point, I don't know, like a playing speed where you back off a little bit to a point where you feel like you can hit consistently and straight. So the swing speed training, we work with the maximum speed to raise your body's ability to move faster. And then so when you raise your maximum speed, your playing speed, your accuracy speed also goes up. Nice. So it's a really cool thing in that way.
Yeah. Hey, listen, our Skype signal's getting a little bit scratchy here, so I want to be able to wrap this up and have you talk a little bit more about your member area of your site, what it costs, how to get in, and details to get in touch with you.
Yeah, it's the member site is just a one-time $50 payment.
Uh-huh.
Just pay by PayPal or credit card or whatever you want, and then fill in the form, and it signs you up automatically, and then you get access to all the content. I've got a number of other products there on the site as well.
Ooh, the Skype thing is really getting bad right now. So tell me, before you go, because I don't want to drag this on, but if they put in Golf Smarter somewhere, can they get a couple bucks off the 50? Is that possible? Huh?
Yeah. We can figure something out.
Absolutely. Well, no, and by the time the show, between the time we've done this interview and by the time we publish it, which actually is going to be soon, so you think we can get that set up in the next short amount of time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So what kind of discount? If they just enter Golf Smarter, right, they'll be able to make the offer right now. I'm going to put you on the spot, dude.
Well, let's. How about a Golf Smarter, I guess, and then what?
I'm really putting you on the spot.
Yeah, right.
I'm looking, and what's great is I'm looking at you on this Skype, and you can't see me, and I'm like, come on, I've got my fist out, I'm holding a club in my hand. Come on, make it a good offer. You want people to come from Golf Smarter and see if this works for you. Come on, give them a 10% discount, right?
Sure. We'll
okay. All right. So it's now $45. Sold to the man in Zurich, Switzerland. So if you enter Golf Smarter, you can do it for $45. Thank you for letting me put you on the spot there. We'll talk about the details when we get off the line here in just a moment. Okay. But hey, again, it's swingmangolf.com. Increase your speed, increase your accuracy, and increase the amount of time or decrease the amount of time you're on the golf course, I guess, is with that increase, right?
For the swing speed training, you don't need to be at the golf course to do it.
Well, no, just the fact that your game's going to be, you're going to take less shots, you're going to be out there less amount of time because your score is going to go down.
Yeah.
I made the leap. Apparently I confused you with that. Jaacob, it was great to talk to you again, man.
Yeah, good talking to you too, Fred.
and we'll get you back on because I really want to talk more about how we can get to the swing speed training and the more accuracy and more distance.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right, buddy. It was great to talk to you. Best of luck, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, sounds good.